Donald Trump seems to have a lot of support within the white nationalist community. If you're not concerned about that, you probably should be. But anyway, two of his donors, Michael Polignano and Peter Brimlow, are basically two guys that manage some very racist publications. Now, let me give you some details on that. Now, Polignano is the managing editor and webmaster for a website called Countercurrents. Now, it's a publishing company that publishes, quote, white nationalist and pro-Hitler material. Well, that's lovely. Now, he's also a self-described racist. Now, in 2003, Polignano first proposed creating something called a White People's Party, which would have a single goal: to protect and advance the interest of whites in today's multicultural, anti-white America. The White People's Party would not accept the membership and support of Jews or non-whites. We would not work for their interests, and we could not expect them to sincerely work for ours. As if anybody who was non-white would want to work for something called the White People's Party. I'm just saying. Anyway, he also wrote that he is happy to be called a racist. Quote, "You'll be smeared as racist. Of course we will. We are racists. But we do not regard this as a smear, but as a badge of honor. Race is real. Different races are genetically capable of different ways of life, just as different breeds of dog are genetically capable of different ways of life. American civilization cannot be maintained by replacing whites with non-whites, any more than poodles can replace sheepdogs and chihuahuas can replace sled dogs. Racism is an objective and enlightened viewpoint, and we will not apologize for it." So, well, there it is. He is a racist, and he's incredibly proud of it. This Polignano, Michael Polignano, right? So this is what we're dealing with, right? This is what this guy believes in. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna compare other races to dogs. What? We're the best dog of them all, and the other ones, Man, this guy. Now, he's also written, if you don't think that that's bad enough, right? We're like, oh, he's racist. Oh, yeah. Oh well, we're all a little racist, aren't we? No, at least I'm not. He also goes into anti-Semitism. He's written that the Jews have to leave America because they're a major cause of America's problems. Any organization that does not explicitly exclude Jews will end up being dominated and subverted by them. No sense letting them put their noses under the tent. Jeez. He says, that's why Jews have to leave America. They dominate the leading institutions of our culture, the political parties, the news and entertainment media, the arts, education system, banking, and finance, and they subvert these institutions to pursue Jewish interests at the expense of white interests. Wait a minute. If you're a white supremacist, right, if you believe that your race is superior, then how would you let the Jews run and everything? That doesn't make any sense. We are the superior race, and the goddamn Jews run everything. That doesn't make any sense, dude. Anyway, he says, look, they are not the sole cause of America's problems. Oh, great. How nice of you. But they are a major cause, and there is no way to save this country without first taking them on. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. There's another country that also did the same thing. They also took on the Jews. Yeah, that was Germany. That didn't turn out very well, did it? Now, on policy, Polignano wants to, quote, end non-white discrimination completely, immigration completely. That would have been ironic. Let's end all non-white discrimination. Are you sure you're racist? No. Anyway, he says he wants to end non-white immigration completely, deport all illegal non-white immigrants, then repatriate all non-white immigrants who have arrived since 1965, as well as their descendants. He also wants to, quote, make sterilization, birth control, and abortion available to all non-whites free of charge, and ensure the freedom of whites to own guns while restricting the freedom of non-whites. You can't get any more racist. He also claims that blacks are inferior and cites David Duke as an inspiration for his work. So what a wonderful guy, this dude that runs Countercurrent News. Now, I mentioned that he's a donor for Trump. So how much did he give? Well, it's actually quite modest. Polignano has donated a total of $214.12 to this election cycle to Donald Trump's presidential campaign. And according to Trump's Federal Election Commission filing, Polignano's ties to the white nationalist countercurrents are readily apparent. Trump's FEC report listed Polignano's employer as Countercurrents Publishing and his occupation as managing editor and webmaster. So, look, if you know what this is, right, and you look at this and you're like, oh, this guy's a Hitler-loving white nationalist that hates Jews. Maybe I don't want this donation. Well, looks like they still took it, though. Look, this is not someone I think anybody would want as a donor. But nonetheless, they haven't sent that donation back, nor have they actually said, hey, we don't want it, okay, and we denounce and reject you, which is what I would expect any campaign to do. Now, in the interest of fairness, too, let me go to Hillary Clinton and Henry Kissinger and John Negroponte, war criminals. She didn't exactly go and say, I denounce and reject you as well. No, she actually went and said, oh, great, Henry Kissinger is on my side? I love that guy who's a war criminal. So, look, fair is fair, right? And I think she should thoroughly denounce and reject that person and John Negroponte, as well as Donald Trump should go out and say, hey, man, I don't want these donors. I don't want their dirty money. We have yet to see him go out and say that. I'm waiting. Now, Polignano, there's one more thing, right? He wrote on his personal Facebook page in May that he is, quote, visiting Trump Tower again on Monday to purchase more Make America Great Again hats, and offered to buy the hats for his European comrades who could not legally purchase them because the hats qualified as campaign contributions. So I guess that's a no-no. Now, that's one guy. The other guy is Peter Brimlow. Now, he is another Trump voter who's the leader of the anti-immigrant website known as VDARE. Now, the Southern Poverty Law Center wrote that Brimlow's site, VDARE.com, is an immigrant-bashing hate site that regularly publishes works by white supremacists, anti-Semites, and other on the radical right. SPLC, added that Brimlow is himself an immigrant, which is interesting. Yes, he's English. A fact that he regularly brings up when he wordly notes that his son with, quote, blue eyes and blonde hair could grow up in an America in which whites have lost their population majority. Oh, dear God, no. Other people who look different. Scary. Now, Brimlow has said that white Americans should demand that U.S. immigration quotas be changed to allow in mostly white people. Sounds something sort of similar to a Trump proposal. He argued that spending tax dollars on anything related to multiculturalism was subversive. He called foreign immigrants weird aliens with dubious habits. Look at that weird alien with their dubious habits. How dare they do something different than me? How dare they? At one point, he even wrote that if one enters an immigration and naturalization service waiting room, it's just like walking into the New York subway. Ooh, that is a dig on the New York subway system. He said, you find yourself in an underworld that is not just teeming, but almost entirely colored. Ooh, scary! They're colored! They look different than me. I'll piss my pants now. Give me a break, dude. This guy is so fucking scared of other people. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. If you are so scared of people who look different than you, then you're a fucking coward. You're an absolute fucking coward. Now, this guy, Brimlow, made a very small donation of less than $5 to Donald Trump's campaign. Okay, hey, $5. Wow, right? Big deal, right? Now, he's also repeatedly praised Donald Trump, especially for his hiring of Breitbart's former CEO, Steve Bannon. Quote, Breitbart emerged as a nationalist site and has done some great stuff on immigration in particular. So high praise to not only Breitbart, but also to Steve Bannon. Great. Now, in December, he also wrote a fundraising appeal praising Donald Trump for running, quote, on the patriotic immigration reform issue. Brimlow has also wrote that VDARE has defended Trump on Hispanic rapists, and in parentheses writes, they are a problem. Black on white crime, he's right. Ending Muslim immigration, it's legal. Ending birthright citizenship, it's legal too, etc., etc. Now look, this doesn't necessarily mean that Trump is racist, right? But boy, he sure is good at getting racists to support him, right? I wonder why that is. I wonder. Maybe it's the stuff he says. Maybe it's the position he takes. Look, everybody wants immigration reform. Comprehensive immigration reform. Nobody wants illegal immigration, right? People want security. I understand that. But there's a way of doing it. This is not the way to do it. The positions put up by Donald Trump is not the way to do it. It's the wrong way to do it. And it's not even workable. And that's the other thing. It's not even going to work. There's no way in hell you're going to get Mexico to pay for a wall. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But look, these two people, right? These two guys belong in the basket of deplorables. To borrow a phrase from Hillary Clinton. Now, for the majority of Trump supporters, and I know you guys watch, I know you're here, right? I see you in the comments, okay, saying horrible things. Are you comfortable with these guys being so enthusiastically in favor of Trump? These two races. Or with David Duke as well. Or with all the other white nationalists that have said, oh, yes, Donald Trump, he's going to make America great again. By making America white again. That's what that means. Now, I know Donald Trump can't pick his supporters, right? But you can certainly pander to them. And Donald Trump has consistently pandered to some of the worst of humanity. Now, if you think that siding with him, the Trump supporters that aren't racist, that actually are just angry, right, at the system, do you think that siding with these two people and the rest of the Trump supporters that actually are racist and white nationalists, as I've shown you, do you think that siding with them is going to make America great again? Really? With the worst of humanity? If you think so, then I am 100% against you. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent, non-corporate media, go to our Patreon page and become a patron. Patreon.com/TYTNation.